Hi, I'm Xavier Roquemaurel. I'm the CEO of Czapek. I'm very happy to be with the Revolution guy. Let me introduce you to Waco. You don't know him. You don't know Waco.
How do you do? My name is my name is Waco, and I'm Xavier Roquemaurel, his assistant. How are
I
you?
was trying to play your assistant, and you played my joke better even.
Indeed.
Okay, so
So okay, tell us about your suit.
Yeah, well, my suit is unexpectedly shiny. It's an old vintage suit from the Xenia time.
Cool.
And you remember it was so shiny. I packed everything at night, and then I realized, well, it's a bit shiny.
It's
Maybe
like
too
a
shiny
silk
for
and
what's making.
cashmere kind of.
Yeah. It's quite a treat. But
It's cool.
I
I mean, it reminds me of the
souvenir.
50s. Reminds me of Elvis.
Exactly.
You know, it's nice.
Exactly.
Yes.
And the thing that it does make
Yes.
a link with everything we do, because we like to play with material.
Yes.
And we like creativity.
Yes.
And sometimes creativity brings you to a boundary. And you feel like, oh, is that okay or not?
Right.
And that brings us maybe, well, if I want to play the match, then I should actually look at the Prominade ivory. It's a champagne color. Look at that. This is incredible. This is a beauty. This is a new guilloche that was invented by Yannick and Jan from the RVK manufacturer. Next time you come to Switzerland, we visit them. So you imagine, Yannick is a prototypist, the best dial maker, if you want, guilloche maker.
Yeah,
And I sit with him, and with Jan, his boss.
Jan van Kannel.
No, Jan Trippet
Jan Trippet.
and Yannick, and they are actually a couple of blocks away.
Oh wow. Okay.
There is a family story between the two, and so I sit with them and I said, look, everybody has asked us to create a watch that was based on the SH65 movement, and we decided that it would be the natural second, the small second. And very often, watches with a small second, they try to nearly hide that they have a small second. Let's do the opposite. Let's make the central torque starting with the small second. And let's create a watch and a dial where the center of attention is a small second and he radiates. And so he started working on different guilloches, and that guilloche became the guilloche sunrise or rising sun.
Phenomenal.
And in French we call it soleil, simply, to make the life of our customers easier.
Is it a
Because
stamping process or is it an engraving process?
It's really the guilloche
So it's
process,
guilloche.
engraving.
Ah, but okay.
Engraving.
So it's guilloche main.
It's guilloche main.
Ah, but fantastic.
It's written at
Wonderful.
6 o'clock in very small, but not necessarily on all prototypes. So
Yeah, loop.
it's on this one. Yeah, on this one it's written. On this one it's written here. Normally it's written guilloche main and then Swiss made. Very hard to read. We put things too small. This one has nothing.
I can't see anything.
Yeah.
My eyesight is so bad at my age.
We're
Can you see anything at 6 o'clock?
We're
then?
crazy because we put things that you can only see with a loop. It's like anti-customer, but at the same time, the collectors, they love it. And so we have this guilloche. So Yannick usually works on 2, 3, 4, 5 different designs.
Right.
Then we sit again, we refine 1 or 2, and then we go.
Right.
And that's the way we do. And sometimes it's the opposite. Chloe does the design, and then she creates it in 3D, and then Jan and Yannick adapt the design to the guilloche machine. So this is the process when we create guilloches.
Stunning, man. What's the
So
size?
We register it. That's the smallest, slimmest ever version with a SH65.
Fantastic. So what's the size?
38.
38.
millimeter.
Wow. That's the size is great on this watch. And the thickness?
Just around 10, just like 10.2, something
Dude,
like
that's
that.
awesome.
Just above 10.
And let's take a look at this. This is the de l'eau?
Good dough.
Good
Drop
dough?
of water.
Drop of
Yeah,
water.
You remember the Quai des Bergues? I mean, this watch has a lot of the Quai des Bergues origin style in it. Just it's like the child of a Quai des Bergues and an Antarctic. And so you had the ricochet design,
Yeah.
guilloche, where the ripples were like crossing.
Yes.
And here we just kept one position, the small second, for the ripple in the leg.
That's awesome.
So imagine you have a leg that is very calm. You drop a large stone in it.
It's
creates
rippling outwards.
Exactly.
And what is the material of the dial?
So it's based on the selling silver plates
Yes.
and enameling.
Enamel.
Enamel.
Oh, fantastic. So a bit like the
gear
collaboration that you guys did with
Yes. Yes,
Collective.
Claude is just outside actually talking to some customers.
Right.
And he's so happy with it because
It's
he
pretty
does that.
stunning, man.
He does that, especially with us. We go explore, new
Yes.
direction, new dimension. We love to take enameling, which is an old technique, and make something that
Contemporary, yeah.
has never been done. So this blue is the Czapek blue. It's the blue 573 that has been scouted by Claude by Don Cadran for Czapek. It's a very specific tone of blue.
Phenomenal.
Nobody else can use it.
Phenomenal.
And
I love it.
And it's in one Kedeberg and in this model.
That's beautiful.
Limited edition of 100 pieces.
But I also love it because you're taking métier d'art and you're making it relevant for the new generation. You're creating something that's
Exactly.
contemporary and
Exactly.
fun and dynamic.
But that's Czapek.
That's great.
If we had to summarize why we are here, to make that happen.
And I love the size of this case. The Prominade is phenomenal. Why the name Prominade?
Yeah.
No, why the name?
The name. Okay. The name because we wanted to. We've been exploring, and we were always located somewhere. So Kedeberg, Place Vendôme, Faubourg de Cracovie, that's where the three locations where Czapek had his boutique. Then we chose Antarctic because that was our modern take on a new location. That's where our eyes are watching. And then we felt like, okay, now we imagine a watch that can be on every wrist. And what would the people like to do?
Right.
Well, the Kedeberg was a promenade. And so we thought, okay, why don't we call it Promenade?
I love
Simply.
it.
And it's more an attitude. It's more a way to look gently, softly, nicely at things.
Yes.
To enjoy the earth created for us.
I love it.
That can be Eden or hell. What do we decide to make out of our planet?
Right.
And that's the way. And when you do a promenade, that's when you really enjoy. And actually, the promenade can lead you to the top of a hill or the top of a mountain. And we feel like that also. We feel it was time to go to the next mountain. And while we were going to the next mountain, a little promenade was okay.
Beautiful, man. So tell me about this. This is great.
Yes. So that's the latest iteration. You didn't saw it.
Not yet.
We started with Bernard on a simple take.
Right.
He's got a daughter. He's got two daughters. I got 5 kids.
This is a collaboration with Bernard Lederer.
Exactly.
Yes.
And his oldest daughter is in the same classroom as my youngest son. And a dad that is a common friend of both made us meet. We became friends. Bernard asked me for help on this more marketing communication side, and I asked him for being a third eye on our movements to kind of criticize positively to help us bring the quality of the movement higher, which he did.
Yes.
And this collaboration was really like, can you be my consultant on this? Can I be your consultant? Same thing, so it's changing. All this in a very transparent manner. I asked the board of Czapek the authorization to do that, to make it very formal, very, very clear. And then, at the end of the process, we said, it's a pity. Why don't we do a watch together? And that's the birth of the complicity.
Right.
And the complicity is the 8th iteration of the assignment that 3 students got in 1930 in Vallejo. 3 watchmakers were learning the job, and the teacher told them, do a double escapement with a differential gear. Philippe Dufour found the story, found the designs, he found the idea fantastic, he created the duality. And then other brands took the same idea and said, okay, let's make our take on that. But no one had done the full expression of the escapements toward the differential. Everything on the dial side. And everything expressed on a superb aesthetic way. So there are the mechanics that are complex, but here it's really the architecture that makes the watch totally stand out. Because someone who knows nothing about watches, look at that and is just, wow. can you tell me how it works? And this is incredible. And this differential that is in the middle.
That's
But
great.
then, for someone like you, I'm going to tell you what is behind, because the foundation of this incredible watch or building, if you want, if you take the architecture parallelism, is crazy. The minute is direct. So, escapements, differential gear goes like this. You go forward from the differential gear to the minute that is in the center of the watch,
Right.
and then directly to the two barrels.
Impressive.
Extremely simple construction. It's form and function together.
Right.
And the design of the watch, the construction of the watch, is here to serve the purpose of the beauty of the watch.
Right.
Which should always be there, you know. The technique should be complex just to make it even more beautiful. And efficient, of course. Because that's the beauty of having the double rates balancing each other to make one rate that is perfect. You know?
That's really cool.
So there is, of course, this objective behind.
Right. And it's the center seconds watch
This
as
has
well.
to be done with a certain elegance.
Right.
And pushing the boundaries is what made it so.
Well, I remember you launched this in Geneva Watch Days last year, but tell me about this execution, because this watch is stunning. What is the material of this case?
So that is a prototype in steel.
Right.
The final version will be white gold.
Okay.
White gold.
Excellent.
And we'll have a platinum one day. It's a request for a limited edition for some friends, and we'll have a yellow gold.
Nice.
Okay.
Ah, yellow gold would be cool.
Coming before.
Right.
And we have the rose gold that is around
Right.
there, and there is a change between the one that we presented in Watches and Wonder and now, and
Geneva Watch Days, yeah.
and now, which is the dome sapphire, which
Stunning.
opens completely the watch.
Right.
And really, I mean, people can think that we keep changing things, but it's because when we see,
It's great.
and I'm sorry, you know, we're not perfect, and that's why we love watches. It's because we are not perfect, and we strive for perfection. That's the engine behind, you know, that's the drive behind. And whenever we see something that we can improve, well, we improve it, and just give to everyone the chance to have it improved.
Xavier, tell us a bit about this Antarctique.
Yes. So this is a meteorite that is green. So when you have the meteorite, when you work with the meteorite, the difficult part is the laquage. Okay, you have to do a lacquer, a poly, and then you have the layers of the lacquer that will create the depth. At the beginning, the color of the meteorite is not at all with the stripes of the meteorite. At the very beginning, it's very gray, and then you have to make the revelation,
Right.
which is the first process,
Right.
and then the laquage. And here the originality is to have chosen this green that is popping, that is very unique, turning light slightly toward the blue, and that makes the watch stand out completely.
Very nice. And then lastly, tell us a little bit about this purple dialed Antarctique.
So, the purple actually is a very Czapek story. So, I'm there visiting our friends of Topper Jewelers in California, and there is a collector passing by, knowing that I'm here for the morning, and so just want to say hello. So I invite you, when you hear about me traveling, that say come to do the same. And he looks at the Antarctic, he says, "It's so cool. I love this dark blue, but you know my favorite color is purple. Could you do a purple?"
Right.
I said, "Yeah, sure. I mean, purple cannot be a unique piece because it's just a color.
Right.
So, but you can have the prototype number one, which he received 1 month and a half ago.
Right.
I told him you cannot show any picture to anyone, but you're somehow the father of the limited edition. So it's a limited edition of 100 pieces, and this is really a beautiful example of the "We Collect Rare People" motto. We are an open company that is very transparent, and we love that. And a lot of the watches we have created have been done with you guys, with the impact that everyone could have on the company, journalists, watchmakers, supplying partners. everyone and collectors. And by putting everybody together in one melting pot, and with a crazy Xavier in the middle, to make everybody dance, I always like to say, give me the dance floor, and I will make everybody dance. That's what I believe, and that's my game into this. And this is very nice because also everyone, it's not my watch, it's not the watch of Czapek, it's the watch of everyone participating to it. And that's the same with the first watch we showed. It's also Yannick's watch and Jan's watch and the team of the workers. And that's what makes the piece so unique, because suddenly you have a watch with a soul. And now the last but not the least is the latest addition to my very small collection, which is the Antarctic in yellow gold. So I wear a family ring that is yellow gold, so I really couldn't go for the rose gold. That would have been a mismatch. And the yellow gold is incredible. Now
show us your family ring.
No, I'm not so much in the showing, but yeah, well, okay. It says, you can see it's an old family, 1,000-year family.
Amazing.
So it's nice to be. And the ring is really showing that you take your duties and bring them to the next generation, and that's what it is about: duties and exemplarity. Okay, this notion of example. And so here it's interesting because it's a celebration watch for me. We've been struggling as startups, and every day was an adventure, and every day is an adventure. And at one point I thought, okay, we've gone to the point to be capable to finance a gold series of Antarctic. That's a lot of money to actually advance the gold, buy the gold, and make it happen without creating a bankruptcy of the company just by creating too much, putting too much cash out. And so we were able to bring that forward and finally, celebrate these 10 years of working for Czapek, with Czapek, opening it to everyone, and have a unique moment.
Thank you, brother. Peace.